Damn it all.
Are you all right?
Please help me. There's a motel close by.
A motel?
Tuesday's Motel. Can I help you, miss?
Who are you?
You're in deep now, ain't you? The name's Argus. Just call me Merc.
When was that array drawn?
It'd be less than 24 hours ago.
I didn't do this.
Gunpowder in his fingers. But this ain't no ordinary pistol. You're in for a lick of trouble, that's for sure. Take me to his room. What are we after, boss?
Firstly, I'd like to know what happened to her. Second, whether the Order of Enlightenment has been here. Why did a Xeno officer come to this place? This motel.
Those calls are meant for the dead. They say the deepest despair comes from hesitation. It won't fool me.
Can it really be that simple?
.6 long. Signs of limping. Male. Around 20 years old. Lightweight. More sets of footprints here.
Boss, are you sure this is where the materials for the revered one are? There isn't even a single trace of human activity here, let alone a market. I guess the only possible explanation is we're here for these plants, right?
Of course not, you idiot.
That's too bad. I'm great at harvesting plants. I'm a pro, see? Check out these calluses. Although my mom would probably disagree. Do you have any idea what these materials look like? It must be important, so we better handle them with care. Don't want to risk mistaking them for weeds, you know? I hope they're easy enough to find. With my leg messed up like this, I can hardly handle any delicate work.
That's him. The one with the limp.
Sorry about this, man. But at least you'll see your mom soon, up there in heaven.
What?
Who's there?
What are you waiting for? Get your ass out of here. Ah, you got a couple questions for this one too, huh? Well, first come, first served. I'm afraid you're gonna have to get in line. Alright, here's how we're gonna do this. I ask, you answer. If you lie, I'll blow your jaw off. Have you ever met a girl named Kayla?
Kayla?
Let's try that again. A girl, about 5'3", chestnut hair, emerald green eyes, speaks like a Texan. Have you seen her? Yes or no? No? Then why is her hair clip in your pocket?
I remember. There's a girl, 5'3", chestnut hair. She's always carrying a basket. Her name's Kayla, too. But her eyes ain't emerald green. They're...
Tell me how you got this hair clip. The more detailed, the better.
We just bumped into each other by chance. She dropped it on the road, and I thought my daughter would like it, so I...
I'll give you one last chance. Where did you meet?
At a place called... Tuesday's Motel.
There you go. That wasn't so hard, was it? Next time, just spit it out. Save us all some time.
Are you with the Foundation?
The Foundation?
Yeah. They hate the Foundation, you see. But you saved me. I need some help. My mom...
I ain't never heard of no Foundation. And I don't give a you-know-what about what's going on between you and them. Got my own matters to deal with. I'll leave him with you. Keep the gun. You figure the rest out yourself. Now, where's this motel?
Listen, you saved my life, so I owe you one. I have to warn you, that motel...
Save your breath. We're done here.
Wait! You're a mercenary, right? I can tell by your gear. I'm worried about my mother. If you see her on the road, please give me a call. Here's a photo of her.
Got it.
And here, my phone number. And listen, be careful. Something ain't right about that motel.
All right.
2 sheep. 3 sheep.
Is that a sheep?
Hmm. 2 sheep. 3 sheep. Funny how we hit the hay every night, just like kids hit the books every day. I'm Barbara. Nice to meet you.
You're in my way, ma'am.
I've tried waving and shouting at the drivers, but none of them stopped for me. Thankfully, pacing around the road seems to have done the trick.
Listen, if you need a ride, here's my answer. No.
My driver left me here, probably because of that scraping sound on the car roof. That scared him half to death. Everything happens for a reason. Destiny's brought me to the right place, I think. Could you give me a ride? I'm on a business trip, so money is no object.
It ain't about money.
Oh, a disappointing answer. But I understand. One must be vigilant. If you don't mind me asking, miss, what happened to your eyes? They're bloodshot. It's best not to drive with your eyes in such a state. You have a much higher chance of getting into an accident.
That ain't none of your concern, Miss Sheep. See ya.
Argus, come over here. This little lamb almost didn't make it out of her mama's belly.
That's life.
Don't say that. No living thing is born to suffer. Look, it's already standing. What an adorable little thing. It's getting dark. We should take them back. Ain't no way they'll make it through the night out here with their mama hurt. And you can't see a thing at night.
You're right. Let's go. Screw it. I should have minded my own damn business.
Before we left, TTT was telling me an urban myth about Texas.
Huh, sounds about right. What's the story about?
The story starts off in the typical way. A man was driving down a long Texas road when he saw a girl hitchhiking. He offered her a lift and a piece of chocolate. The man dropped the girl off at a cemetery and drove on. It was late at night, so he was hoping to reach his destination quickly. Soon after, he saw a funeral procession going down the road. The photo of the dead seemed familiar. Curiosity came over him, and he followed them to the cemetery. Look, a piece of chocolate. Give me a moment. I have to take this. It's from the Foundation.
Timekeeper, this is an emergency notice. The Xeno base in Texas, USA has conducted a large-scale evacuation. Xeno has not yet responded regarding their actions. Should you encounter any difficulties on your trip there, please contact headquarters immediately.
Understood.
Despite these developments, your mission remains the same. Contact U2 editor Barbara, who was last seen near Route 77 collecting information, and find Erd's current whereabouts through her. Since U2 editors use a special communication channel, her current location is still unknown. We'll be in touch as soon as there's any new information. Any questions, Timekeeper?
No. Thank you.
All the best, then.
What did they say?
There was a mass evacuation at the Xeno base in Texas.
What's that all about? They called me 2 days ago, saying that Red 38 was still under routine maintenance in their armament factory. But now, all of a sudden, they're gone? How am I going to get my Red 38 back now, huh? If they hadn't taken her away for inspection, we wouldn't be traveling in this little car, wasting all day on the road.
The operator only mentioned an evacuation. It's still possible that some of them have stayed behind to keep the factory running. If you're worried about Red 38, we can take a detour there. It's in Chisos. The town isn't far from here.
Hey, mister, can you take us to the cheeses? It's just a little detour.
Girls, I don't know why y'all are here, but whether it's just for a bit of adventure or for business, I gotta tell you, something ain't right in that town. We've all heard the stories. Scratching sounds on car roofs, animal bits stuck to car grills, and those people in black robes running around. It's all too weird for me.
Give the ghost stories a rest. Look, if you're trying to negotiate a higher price, at least be a little smart about it, instead of trying to spook us with a few tall tales.
You got me all wrong. Who in their right mind would throw away the cash in their hand unless they were forced to? Benjamins are good and all, but they ain't worth my life. Ain't no way I'm taking you there, no matter how much cash you throw at me.
Why? Were you the driver in that ghost story?
No.
Have you seen these things happen yourself? Come on! It's just a little detour. It won't even cost you much fuel.
Sir?
You see that? It's fogging up. Ain't no way this fog is natural. We shouldn't go any further. I'm stopping right here.
Ugh, fine. I'll drive. Swap seats with me.
No! Nobody get out of the car.
Why?
Are you kidding me? You haven't heard the stories, have you? Then what in the hell are you even doing here? When the fog rolls in on Route 77, you should always stay in the car. All kinds of terrible things hide in the fog. Some folks say they saw giant white crocodiles. Others say they saw dead bodies hanging from trees. Ain't nobody leaving this car. Not until the fog's gone. Is that?
Oh, come on! Don't tell me you're scared of this stuff.
He's fainted. I see. This looks like the work of a mumus. It's a critter commonly seen in the southern US. When they're frightened, they produce a fog-like gas from their respiratory trumpet.
So that sound is just some critter scratching along on the roof. At this rate, I won't get my Red 38 back for another month. Well, I always wanted to try this. Help me move this guy. And you'll have to give up your passenger seat, Capitan.
I know what you're thinking, but do you have a US driver's license? Or any driver's license at all, for that matter?
What do I need that for? I can fly a broom and even do all those maneuvers. That takes more skill than driving a car, don't you think? Ha! Compared to flying, driving a car is child's play. Just look at the number of drivers compared to pilots in the world. Now, where do we start? Start both engines. Keep the tachometer at 70%. Here's the nose wheel steering, the position indicator for the joystick, the throttle lever. And these are for the flaps. No, that's not right. We're in a car, not a flying machine. Let's just get out, Capitan. Can't wrap my head around this hunk of metal.
Good decision.
If these critters are responsible for this fog, our solution is simple. We drive them away. Let's go. What is it, Capitan?
Someone's casting arcane skills nearby. Do you hear that? Sounds like a crying baby.
Better go take a look. You know, a Texan soldier once told me about a notorious bandit back in his hometown many years ago. He would record the sound of a crying baby and play it outside the homes of single mothers. Then he'd wait, ready to attack them if any of them opened their door to look for the baby.
Yes, but the actions of one man don't negate all other calls for help.
Of course not. It's just a reminder to be ready for anything. We're close now. Prepare yourself.
Got it.
Vertin, over here!
Hello. Please help.
Are you alright, miss?
Finally, someone. Please help me. These critters won't let me leave. Every time I try, they knock me back. My baby's starving and crying. If you hadn't come, I really don't know what I would have done.
You mean these Moomus? I've never read about them attacking anyone in any reports. In fact, they're known for being rather timid.
Reports don't necessarily capture the whole story, Capitan. Look at them. They don't seem very timid to me. Careful, it's going to attack.
Oh, they always run off so quickly.
Are you alright?
Did you get a good look at them? Those slippery little things look like seals, don't they? They always jump on passing cars and rub their flat hind legs on the roof, making that coarse, scraping sound. Amazing creatures, aren't they? These little fearmongers. But they are, in fact, easily frightened. The slightest movement could startle them. That's why it's foggy all year around here. Many of my guests have trouble finding their way to the motel. Are you ladies looking to check in at the motel?
Motel?
Yes, Tuesday's Motel. If you're looking for a comfortable bed for the night, it's the place to go. Anyway, thank you so much for saving us. I owe you one.
Excuse me? Are you the maid at Tuesday's Motel?
Oh, I almost forgot to introduce myself. Folks around here call me Tuesday. Hey, Tuesday, over here. Hey, Tuesday, breakfast for one, please. Tuesday, Tuesday. Oh, ain't we all like horses? And our names like the reins pulling at us. Do you need a place to stay, ladies?
Thank you for your kindness. But our driver's still in the car. We can't just leave him there.
And our luggage and travel documents are still in the trunk, along with our cash too. Let's head back now that the fog has cleared.
Shall I lead the way?
You? What were you doing out here alone anyway?
I was waiting for a guest. It's been 2 hours and they still haven't shown up. I thought, rather than waiting here, I would pay you back for helping me. I assume you parked near Route 77? Let me take you there.
That coward. He just threw out our luggage and took off. How pathetic.
At least he didn't take the luggage with him.
Are you going to thumb a ride with all these bags? I'd advise against that, especially here. You've seen those movies, right? Bad things can happen on the road out here. There are a lot of smugglers around these days.
Did you say your motel wasn't far from here?
Yes. Come this way. There's an easy trail that won't dirty your shoes. Don't worry. It ain't far. When night falls and the signs are lit, a weary traveler may find a comfortable place to rest here. Welcome to Tuesday's Motel, ladies. That'll be $25 altogether. Will that be on card or cash?
Cash, please.
Hey, do you know if there's an armament factory in the town nearby?
An armament factory? Yes, there is one. Would you like a map? If you plan on visiting, make sure to return early. It can be a difficult walk in the dark.
Doesn't seem far from here.
It's about an hour's walk. I'd recommend leaving tomorrow morning. It's getting late. It's best not to be outside at night.
Thanks, but I'm going right now. Nothing can go wrong as long as I have Red 38 by my side.
Call me if anything happens.
Like what? I can handle myself.
Don't worry. She'll check in later.
Here's your passport.
Have you been working here since the opening of this place?
Yes.
How's business?
Not too great. It's the off-season now. You don't seem too good at small talk. Is there anything you'd like to ask?
I do have one question. Have you seen a sheep-headed arcanist around?
Oh, that's not a face you'd easily forget. And why are you looking for this arcanist? World peace? Well, that makes this request simply too adorable to turn down. Well, I'm sorry to say that I've never met an arcanist with the head of a sheep. I can help you ask around if you...
What?
Sounds like something's going wrong upstairs. Sorry about that. Let's head up. Your room's on the second floor, too. Then we can take a look at what's happened.
Sounds good.
Just so you know, the guests upstairs are a little... Well, you can stay behind me if you like.
How about it? It's just a simple room swap. I'm sure it won't be no trouble at all for a generous lady such as yourself.
That's the guest staying in room 210. She arrived here the night before yesterday. She was injured when she came in. Seems it didn't take her long to recover. But I don't quite understand why she insists on swapping rooms with the other guests. If she does the same to you, please call the front desk. I'll do my best to help.
Why didn't you offer her your help? She needs it more than I do.
Oh, things don't work like that here, miss. Everyone has their own secrets. With the variety of guests we get, it's best to keep your mouth shut, or else somebody will shut it for you. Although there are fewer bounty hunters around these days, my advice is to stay quiet if you don't want any trouble. Especially if you're dealing with an armed mercenary. You know how things like that play out down here in Texas, don't you?
Understood.
Or do you have something else in mind?
Is your room bigger and better than this one?
That's the guest of room 218 speaking. She too is a young lady like you.
You remember all the guests and their room numbers?
You'd remember her too if she'd been staying in your motel for a month. Miss Kimberly's been here for just over that. Hmm?
Mirror. The mirror.
Mr. Stefan, are you coming out for some fresh air?
Maid, you're just in time. I'd like to swap rooms with this Kimberly lady.
If Miss Kimberly and yourself have come to an agreement, then I see no reason why you can't do so.
Timekeeper?
Have we met?
Vertin?
That's me. Do I know you, sir?
I saw you in the newspaper. The newspaper, that vacuum bomb. Did you see the explosion? You must have, because you made it happen. You dropped the bomb, you murderers. But have any of you been brought to justice? No, not a single one. Instead, you were congratulated and given medals. Revolting. Disgusting. Why were you rewarded for murder? Meanwhile, I'm stuck in this hotel. Lord, is this what my life has come to?
But we've never met before. I don't even know your name, sir.
Of course you don't know me, but I'll get the truth out. I'll expose your crimes to the public. That rotting woman in the tub, that sheep-headed monster, and that one inside the mirror.
Sheep-headed, you say? Wait, sir.
Shh, don't startle him. He's totally crazy.
I should have known it was all fake! If they're giving out medals for killing people, then I should have one too. That shiny medal. It should be mine!
Stay back!
I'm ever so sorry about all this, Miss Vertin. You've only just arrived, and you've had to deal with so much trouble already.
Oh, it's no trouble. In fact, I'm glad that we came here. That man said he'd seen a sheep-headed monster.
Oh, that. He's quite delusional. Surely you won't take the ramblings of a madman for a fact, will you? He's been peculiar since the day he checked in. He spasms and twitches and pays little attention to his surroundings. It's best not to have a face-to-face conversation with him. Who knows what he'll do next?
Hey, you, maid. Enough chatter. You have a job to do. I've accepted the offer this, Miss Argus made. What's next? What should we do?
Apologies, Miss Kimberly. I'll be with you in a moment. Could the both of you wait for me at the front desk? The rooms need a tidy up before they can be occupied. You may take a rest on the couch in the lobby while you wait. Miss Vertin, I'm afraid I'll have to leave you here. Do you mind going to your room alone?
Not at all.
Ma'am, you can just leave the room as it is. If you clean it, it'll interfere with my work. You might want to check on that Kimberly lady. She looks starved. She wouldn't stop shaking.
Oh, Miss Kimberly, would you like something to eat?
I'm fine. I agreed to change rooms, didn't I? Why are you two still mocking me? You're not exactly a pleasant person to do business with. You know that, right?
Well, darn. What got you so riled up? It's too late now. A deal's a deal. You can backpedal if you like, but it ain't wise to mess with the girl packing heat down here in Texas. Later, Miss Kimberly.
Her arcane skill. That man, Stefan, he clearly knows something. But he appears to be rather mentally unstable, and he's hostile towards me. Madam Z cautioned me on this. I must be extra careful when dealing with people like him. Should make sure I have a backup plan in place before proceeding. Still no sign of Lilia. Did she get in trouble? Hello? Hello? Is that Miss Tuesday? Oh, I think I know what this is. That's an R. E. S. P. O. Respond.
Hello? Is this Miss Vartan?
Miss Tuesday?
Yes. I have an announcement for you. There's a service outage going on in the area. Some critters nibbled through the cables of a nearby signal tower, but all our internal phone lines are still running well.
I see.
It should be repaired soon since we share the signal tower with that armament factory. I apologize for any inconvenience this may cause. I'll bring you dinner up later. It's on the house.
May I ask what's on the menu?
We have one free meal a day, a ham sandwich, and a glass of milk. If you'd like to have something else, we've also got roast chicken and hummus and a few simple Mexican dishes.
Thank you. I'll ask my friend what she thinks when she comes back.
Oh, and the kitchen closes at 9. Please take note of that. Is there anything else I can help you with?
I'm good for now. Thank you. Spiders? Is that an arcane array? The pattern's familiar. I've seen it somewhere before. Yes, I've definitely seen this before. When I was in school.
This is an extremely dangerous array, one that you are prohibited from using. It can go easily beyond the caster's control. We study Arcanum and tame it for our use. But once its power surpasses our limits, it is highly likely that it will lead to our own destruction. I need you all to remember that. It'll be in your next exam.
Burton, are you listening? The instructor just said it'd be in the next exam. If you like, you can check my notes.
Oh, thank you. My mind was somewhere else. Why have they made it a key point of the exam if we can't even use it? I see. They didn't teach us about arrays so that we could use them. They wanted us to be able to identify them so that we could avoid danger. It's highly likely to cause an explosion or other severe consequences if I act too hastily. Lilia still hasn't come back. I must find someone else to help.
Hey, we met back in the hallway, remember? Now it's your turn.
What exactly do you want from me, miss?
Well, it's simple. The person I'm looking for is right here in this motel, and I'm scouring every corner of it to find her. Look, Missy, I don't want to make things hard for you. Name your price, and we can talk.
If this person's gone to such great lengths to avoid you, perhaps she doesn't want to see you at all.
Well, that ain't my concern, is it? A job's a job. Whether it's catching a cheating spouse, tracking someone down, or delivering a letter, it don't make no difference to me.
Very well. But you'll have to look elsewhere, I'm afraid. There's no one but me in this room.
Look, I know what I'm doing. How about you turn around and take a good look around the room?
So you can knock me out as soon as I turn my back to you.
Missy, if that were my plan, I wouldn't have spent all this time talking to you. I much prefer to do my business pleasantly. I don't like to see things get too ugly.
I see.
Fine. If you don't want to turn around, I'll tell you what I see. You've burned your finger there. You should be more careful.
This is...
Don't look like a fire burn to me. What was it? Some arcane energy? Looks like this room has a couple secrets, too. So you touched an arcane array, and its power burned you. How's that for a guess? Pretty close, huh? This is my arcane skill. It allows me to see the traces that people leave behind. That's how I get these jobs, you see. Ain't nothing happening that don't leave a trace. If there ain't no trace, then it never happened. I came to your room to look for evidence, not a person.
I see. You want to know whether the person you're tracking has been here, right?
Now we're talking.
Before I let you investigate the room, I have one more question. You take jobs from people nearby, don't you?
Of course. It's obvious, ain't it? You seem more intrigued by my profession than my peculiar request. You're in trouble, ain't you? Then let me formally introduce myself. The name's Argus. I'm 26, and I have extensive experience as a mercenary.
Let's make a deal. You may search this room all you like, and I won't say a thing. But in return, I'd like your assistance in my own investigation.
How, exactly?
Can you tell when that array on the cupboard was drawn?
Less than 24 hours ago.
In other words, this was left behind by the last guest who stayed in this room.
Can't say for certain.
Let's see what you've got in there for me. Hey, buddy! They just left her in a wooden box. What kind of safekeeping is this? Anyway, I don't have much time. I'll settle that with them later. Alright, at least they bothered to put a gravity ritual on it.
Are you also preparing to evacuate?
Ah, perfect timing. Are you in charge here?
No, I'm not in charge of anything, Lieutenant. I'm just passing through. I'm Kayla, by the way. I heard some rattling here and thought some of those kids might have come back to steal weapons again. These things aren't cheap, and the kids know it.
Kids stealing from the military? Huh, that's a new one. Where are the guards here?
Oh, didn't they tell you, Lieutenant? The army stationed here started evacuating a month ago. There aren't many of them around these days.
Evacuating? Then where can I find the soldiers that are still here?
You're new in town, right? Did you see a bar on your way here? That's where the Xeno soldiers spend their nights drinking. You might want to check there first. That's probably where you'll find him.
Him? What does he look like?
Like every other Xeno soldier. They all look the same to me. You'll know him when you see him. But I have to tell you, the bar doesn't like outsiders. Have you heard of the Order of Enlightenment? It's an occult society, very active these days. They were preaching in this town just a few days ago. Today is their day of prayer.
And, what does that have to do with me?
The bar you're going to is where they gather to pray. That's all I know. If you're going up there, please, be careful.
Huh, thanks.
May the sufferer watch over you. Great sufferer, by your decree, the glory of former days shall grace our present path.
Great sufferer, by your decree, the glory of former days shall grace our present path.
We dedicate our souls and minds to you. We seek the well-being of our people in your name.
May the sufferer watch over you. Under the grace, may our cups overflow. To the sufferer!
To the sufferer!
Huh? Odd time for a stranger to come.
No crashing the party, am I? Napa Valley, Californian Red, Kentucky whiskey. Ha, there's a lot of good stuff here. One vodka, straight. The best you got.
It ain't business hours, lady.
Hey, all I did was ask for a drink. Is this how you treat your customers?
As I said, we ain't serving you.
Why? Don't you have vodka? Fine, I can settle for whiskey. Have to learn to take what we can get, eh?
You ain't getting that either.
Seriously? You don't have any whiskey? I'm starting to understand why Zeno evacuated. What's the point of living in a town where there's no real liquor? Especially for those drunkards.
What's a Xeno lieutenant doing here anyway? No alcohol fuel in that warehouse of yours?
Huh. You sure have some interesting drinking habits down here. But I'm curious. What did the Sufferer promise you to make you all change your faith? I mean, that's quite an achievement, especially here in Texas. Oh, so we're doing this now? Are we? Look, I don't care what you're doing here. Just tell me where that Xena soldier went.
What Xeno soldier?
Don't play dumb with me.
Oh, that soldier. He's a complete idiot, that one. It's obvious that Xeno has abandoned him, but he insists that they left him here because they believe that only he could keep the warehouse safe. Why are you looking for him now, if you decided to ditch him in the first place?
Listen, I can tell you guys aren't the biggest fans of Xeno, but that has nothing to do with me. I'm just here to get my stuff back.
Fine. If you insist on finding him, try your luck on the outskirts of town. He might be drinking there.
Thanks.
We can't say for sure if this ritual was created by the last guest. Fact is, you can find all kinds of unusual markings in this motel. Most of them less than a month old. Very recent indeed. The maid said that there aren't many tourists these days, so my guess is that a group of skilled arcanists have left their work in every room. Based on the markings I've seen so far, there were about 3 to 5 people in this group.
And was there a sheep-headed arcanist among them?
Well, that I don't know. What I can say, though, is that there was a sheep living in here. I saw some hoof prints on the hallway floor. It looked like someone had stayed in this motel with a sheep. Sounds pretty odd, but I suppose it ain't too strange given the local farmland. But I'm sure this will catch your attention.
What?
We all know that sheep walk on 4 hooves. But the hoof prints I saw were different. They were small and delicate, and most importantly, followed the movement pattern of a human, judging by the trail. The owner of the hoof prints was about the size of a slender kid, maybe 5 feet tall.
That's it. That's the one I'm looking for.
Don't I know it? They can question my morals, but Nobody can question my competence. So, may I enter your room now, Miss Verdon?
Please.
Now, let's start with this little thing. The carvings are new. No sign of woodworm damage or moisture absorption. These splinters along the edge are extremely sharp. Is this dried blood?
Blood was used as the medium for this array. The circle isn't fully closed here, and the lines are a bit uneven. Whoever drew this doesn't seem to be an expert. You know how to deal with this, right?
All you have to do is ask, boss. You might be surprised.
We need to destroy it as quickly as possible. I think it's been left by a dangerous occult group.
Hold on.
Is that blood?
Yep. The blood of an arcanist. So it can't be Kayla's.
Can you discern the owner's identity?
I ain't all-knowing. I can't identify people by their blood. No, I'll need more than just blood to find out who was here. We are the beginning and the original source of metals. Through us, the highest tincture of art is brewed. There is neither a spring nor water like mine. I heal and help both the rich and the poor. Yet I am full of hurtful poison. What the hell does that mean?
It's a quote from a text on alchemy.
All challenges will be resolved with the provision of sufficient and high-quality materials and the precise execution of the array. But where do we find these materials? What was once sundered shall reunite. I've seen this handwriting before.
And here, my phone number.
Yep, this is definitely the same. That sound. It's a Flying Arrow M1903 pistol. Kimberly? What's wrong with her now? I better go check it out, boss. Something don't seem right. You coming? That Kimberly must have run into something. Just when I thought you couldn't get any dumber.
Is this a suicide? He pulled out the gun and shot himself in the head. His brains splattered on the walls and flowed onto the floor.
There's gunshot residue and powder burns near the wound. Gunpowder particles on his fingers. There's no doubt. He died from a gunshot wound. The bullet was fired from the pistol in his hand and went straight through his skull. But this ain't just any pistol. It's a Xeno pistol. You've got yourself in some serious trouble, Missy.
It wasn't me! I'm just an innocent, sad, terrified girl who just happened to pass by.
Well, Miss Innocent, sad, and terrified. If you want to prove your innocence, start by telling us what happened here. And mind you, I will call you out if you lie. The evidence here will tell me what's true and what ain't.
If you're so clever, then why are you asking me? Just figure it out yourself. All right, I'll tell you. This madman has been harassing me. Ever since I moved into this place, I'd often seen him pacing around in the hallway. Day and night, he'd stomp around out here. He didn't care if anyone else was trying to sleep. I thought he must have had a lot on his mind, like he was troubled or something. So I asked him what happened. His deep, sunken eyes were bloodshot. Every fiber of his being screamed that something was wrong with him. Sir, if you have any problems, there are many ways to solve them. But pacing in the hallway isn't one of them. Plus, it disrupts everyone's sleep. I swear I didn't say anything too harsh, but he was just downright rude.
Get the hell away! Get out of my face!
Excuse me! That's pretty rude, you know. I had no desire to argue with the madman. Thankfully, the maid intervened when she heard what was going on. I have no idea what she said to him, but eventually they came to terms. He stopped pacing the hallway from then on. That was a relief. I'm sure the other guests would agree. That maid can vouch for what I've said. Ask her yourselves. Not long after, I found a letter from Stefan on the floor of my room. It'd been slid under my door. In the letter, he apologized for his behavior. Should I make peace with him? I thought. As I wondered, I took a look through the peephole. It was strange. I couldn't see a thing. It was pitch black out there. Is it broken? I wondered. Before I could dwell on it too much, the phone rang. I was startled, but it was just the front desk calling.
Hello, Miss Kimberly.
Is it dinner time already?
No. Is there an issue between Mr. Stefan and yourself?
He seemed hesitant to speak.
I know it's not my place to ask, but the situation is a little concerning. Mr. Stefan is standing at your door, his face pressed up against it, so I just want to confirm that everything's all right between you two.
And that's what happened. Calm down, miss. It's all over now. Do you still have that letter with you?
Who'd hold on to that? I threw it out right away. It's somewhere in that bin.
Dear Ms. Kimberly, I've got a question already. How did he know your name? You didn't know each other well enough to have exchanged them, did you?
I'm the victim here, damn it! You can't interrogate me like this. But if you must know, maybe he heard it when my friend called me.
Your friend?
Why? What's so odd about that? A young girl like myself should never travel alone to places like this. I need someone to make my bed and prepare my clothes and, most importantly, I need to eat. I wouldn't even be here if I weren't looking for...
I want to apologize for my behavior earlier in the hallway.
Looks like a perfectly normal letter to me. No hints that this is from a man on the verge of a mental breakdown.
If you won't take my word for it, go ahead and ask the maid. She was there. She can vouch for me.
Please, we weren't accusing you of anything.
Though graphology has been criticized a lot these days, I gotta say, this looks more like a woman's handwriting to me.
So you mean Stefan was a woman?
You still with us, Missy? What I'm suggesting is that Mr. Stefan didn't write this letter, but a woman did. But that's just speculation. Chances are Mr. Stefan's handwriting was just a little feminine. I'll keep this letter for now. Back to my questions. If the story you told is true, then why are you at the scene of his death? Did you go looking for him, even after all the weird things he'd done?
I was hungry, okay? That's a good enough answer for you? I can't just starve myself!
Hungry? If I remember correctly, the motel offers room service. And you get 1 free meal a day, so even if you ain't got no money, you have enough food to get by.
What do you know? I'm not eating one of those ham sandwiches.
Alright, so you've got some standards when it comes to food. Let's drop that. You were there when he fired the shot, right? What happened then? Take your time and think it through. There's no rush.
About 15 minutes ago, he rang my doorbell.
I thought my friend had returned from town. She always brings something amazing with her, so I opened the door. The last thing I expected was to see Stefan standing there. Who'd have thought that he could get back on his feet so quickly after the beating he took? I was terrified when I saw him there. He towered over me, one hand on the doorframe and the other pushing against the door. I slammed the door shut. I thought he'd let go. But he didn't. The door closed on his fingers.
I understand now. I understand it all. You're with Zeno, aren't you?
His fingers were bent at a peculiar angle. It must have been painful, but he didn't seem to feel the pain at all. The fracturing of his fingers was no more painful than a mosquito bite to him.
You came to me and made me drop my guard so that one day you could turn me in for a bounty. But why me? Why are you doing this to me? It wasn't me who made the plan. It wasn't me who executed it. It wasn't me who pressed that damn button. All I did was expose their crime to the rest of the world. Tell me, why else would they want my head so desperately if they didn't believe they were guilty? In the meantime, the actual killers are treated as heroes. But I'm the hero. Me. But all my sorry ass gets is a lifetime of hiding out in some random motel in the middle of nowhere. This world is sick!
What the hell are you talking about?
Come on, drop the act. Right after you spoke to me, Vertin showed up at my door. Are you trying to tell me that that was just by chance?
Vertin? He totally ignored my question.
The world has fallen ill. I can see that now. The realm above truly does exist. How else would we have gotten the idea of a perfect heavenly realm? Obviously, it doesn't exist in this world.
I don't care. Even if that place does exist, it has nothing to do with you. Get out of the way! I'm closing the door.
But at least I get to decide when I step through that door, right?
I had no idea what he was talking about. And he didn't give me much chance to figure it out either.
I'm afraid your mission is doomed to fail, young lady.
In that moment, a smile of relief came over his face, and without a moment's hesitation, he pressed the pistol against his temple and pulled the trigger. And you know the rest.
What's going on in here?
This man killed himself.
Oh dear. There's blood everywhere. It'll be a lot of work to clean it all up, and with the weather being so hot, the room will soon start to smell. All the carpets have to go.
Miss Tuesday, can I ask you a question?
Yes?
Have you ever had any guests who looked like or claimed themselves to be Manus Vindictae?
Manus Vindictae? I'm not entirely sure what you mean. Could you explain in more detail?
Most of them dress in blue and black. Some drawl a fair bit, and most of them can't speak in full sentences. The most notable feature is that they all wear masks shaped like hands. Have you seen any before?
Masks shaped like hands? No, I've never had a guest who wore a hand-shaped mask. Never seen anyone in blue and black, either. But if an organization was going to do something in secret, I don't think they'd be too public about it.
Hey, lady. Take me to his room.
Oh, it shouldn't be too hard for you to find the room yourself, right, Miss Argus? After all, that's how you make a living. But I can just tell it to you. It's 214. You must be curious about that room. I'm surprised. You've been in almost every room in the motel, and you've been here for 2 days. You're like a child in your curiosity. This place would be much safer if you were the sheriff here. Anyway, I hope you can find that girl soon.
Why do you want to go to Stefan's room exactly? Is it related to our investigation?
Well, of course, boss. I'm here looking for Kayla, just as you're looking for that sheep-headed...
What is it?
That arcanist you're looking for. Is her name Barbara?
You know her?
Yep. We met. On Route 77. I just got done asking 2 men about Kayla's whereabouts, and saw that it was getting dark. My sight ain't so good at night, and the nights are long these days. So I was in a bit of a hurry, hoping to get somewhere with proper lights as fast as I could. That's when I saw her, Barbara, all alone by the road. Some jerk of a driver dumped her there, and she asked me for a ride. I turned her down. Heck, I could hardly see. She'd have been better off waiting for the next driver than riding with a blind bat like me, you know? But as I drove away, I changed my mind. She was too young to be left out there all by herself. So I turned back to get her. But when I arrived, she was already gone. There was nothing but a trail of hoofprints in the dirt. When I got to the motel, I saw those hoofprints again. I gotta say, I was kinda relieved to see them. At least she made it here safely.
And is she still here?
Well, I've never seen any hoofprints leaving the motel. But that don't mean she's still here. You gotta be mindful of what your mind picks up and what might slip you by. It's easy to ignore other evidence when what you've seen already fits your hypothesis. That being said, it's still likely that she's somewhere in the motel.
All right. Then let's look for her.
It seems we're in agreement. To room 214.
202. 203. Hmm?
I've checked those too. Ain't much in them.
Argus, did you see a red door just now?
A red door?
Nothing. Must have been my imagination.
Are you alright? Can you still see?
Don't worry about it. Ain't the first time this has happened. This high issue runs in the family. It's the price we pay for having our arcane power. Now, what are we looking for, boss? People leave all kinds of evidence behind all the time. It'll be like wandering around in the woods without a compass if we don't know what we're looking for. So if you don't want to be inundated with meaningless clues, you need to give me some directions.
Alright. First, I'd like to know what happened to Barbara. Second, whether Manus Vindictae has been here, or anyone from that Order of Enlightenment. And last, about Mr. Stefan. The pistol he used was a xeno-military weapon, and he seemed to know about my relation to the vacuum bomb operation. It's likely that he once held a high rank within the xeno-military. I want to know why he came to this motel, and what happened to make him lose his mind here.
Lose his mind here? What makes you think he wasn't crazy already?
Xeno pays much more attention to its soldiers' mental well-being than any conventional military organization. It's because quite a few of them are arcanists. They're both Xeno's strength and weakness. So I'm inclined to think Mr. Stefan developed these mental health issues after entering the motel.
Huh. Is that so? I gotta say, I don't know much about all this military institution stuff. Right, so here's the plan. First, locate Barbara. Second, look for any signs of Manus Vindictae or the Order of Enlightenment. And third, find out how poor old Stefan lost his marbles. And of course, I've got my own business to deal with. Tracking down Kayla. Hey, boss. I've got something. These footprints are from a spider. Looks like the little guy went back and forth along here quite a few times. I know this might not seem pertinent to our investigation, but it is worth noting. You ever seen a spider make a phone call?
I'm afraid I'm not interested in the movements of spiders right now.
Come on, boss. Loosen up a little.
Do you hear that? Sounds like dripping water.
I'm sure it's just the motel plumbing.
But... watch out! This place is definitely more than meets the eye.
I'm with you on that. There's just too much Arcanum-related weirdness going on here. Never seen so many arrays in a motel before.
But we've only found one.
In your room, yeah. But there are a load more. One room has them drawn from floor to ceiling. Looked like some kind of transformation array to me. I ain't no expert, so I can't say for sure.
What are they trying to do, I wonder?
Who knows? Oh, boss. You might be interested in this. It's another one, just like the others.
I've seen this before. It was also drawn in that parchment notebook. This is indeed a transformation array, but it's not in its full form.
They were trying something. Check it out. This is hair from the mane of a howler lion, and there are some other materials around it too. Not exactly sure what they are, though. They're too finely ground. But one thing's for sure. Someone held a ceremony here, and for some reason, it didn't work out for them.
This is important. The Foundation needs to know about this. Argus?
This is Kayla's hair. She was here, in this room. Or at least someone who came into contact with her.
Ah, this is the life. A warm, beautiful night, a cold drink, and no one but me and the stars in the sky. Maybe I'll just lay here till morning. A good night with good drinks! I wish every day could be like this. Hey, buddy, you're blocking my view.
Huh? Are you stargazing?
Has anyone ever told you that you sound awfully like Lieutenant Lilia? The rider of Red 38? Heard of her? No one can fly like her.
Of course.
Oh my... You even look like her!
Keep playing dumb, and I'll show you what it's like to have her kick your ass.
Lieutenant Lilia! Airman First Class Andreas, at your service.
Are you the warehouse guard?
Yes, ma'am!
On your feet, soldier. My Red 38 is in your warehouse for maintenance, and I need you to remove the gravity ritual from it.
Gravity ritual?
If you don't understand what I'm saying, go get someone who does. I need it today.
Oh, right. The gravity ritual. Yes, I know. Please, come with me. I'll take you to the warehouse.
Are you certain you can undo the ritual?
Yes, ma'am. They made sure I got the hang of it before they took off. Leave it to me!
Lead the way, soldier. Open it.
Oh, I remember this package. I thought it was some kind of joke or someone with the same name as you sent the package. Who would have thought that you'd come to Texas yourself?
Hurry up, soldier. Open the crate, now.
Ma'am, I know you want to do this quick, but I haven't been authorized to undo this incantation.
If you can't do it, find me someone who can. I won't say it a third time.
Truth be told, there's no one else to turn to. I'm the only one left. I was made an airman first class to do this job. I was still in training before this, you see. The others were either transferred back to headquarters or just left. I don't know where they are now. But since they entrusted me with such an important task, I'm sure I have a bright future ahead of me.
You just said you aren't authorized, not that you don't have the ability, alright? I have two options for you. One, remove the ritual now. Or two, I beat your ass and then you remove the ritual.
Well...
Choose! No more gibbering.
I picked the second one.
Huh?
You see, I'm happy to get rid of the ritual for you, but I can't do it on my own initiative. I'm only an airman first class. I can't make decisions about this stuff. So, you have to beat me up to avoid future inquiries. One day, after I'm promoted, I'll be able to better assist you, ma'am. I mean, you're the best pilot I've ever seen. I even made a scrapbook of the reports on your flights.
All right, no screaming, soldier. Let's do this.
Stop, stop! This is plenty to prove my innocence. I'll undo the ritual now.
Oof, you almost blinded me there. Thanks, soldier. There's one more thing.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know why Zeno pulled out of here so suddenly?
They said it was an order from the top.
The top?
And that's all I was told. But word is, it was because Admiral Igor got real mad about the video leak of the vacuum bomb. But that's just a rumor. Ever since the evacuation, strange things have started to happen.
Such as?
We started getting visitors from this group called the Order of Enlightenment. And now the farmers have stopped tending their fields. The cattle and sheep have been abandoned in the wilderness. All the townsfolk do now is go to these gatherings, hoping that the sufferer will bring them eternal joy. I don't know who this sufferer is, but he ain't doing any good here.
Where do those people stay? In the town?
It's a ways away, I think. A place called Tuesday's Motel.
Berlin, Vertin! I have to go back! Let's get out of here, girl.
Safe travels, ma'am!
Choose this motel.
Hello. Can you give me a ride?
I can't help you. Ask someone else.
Can you give me a ride?
I said I can't help you.
Oh, can I have some chocolate? I met a kind man who gave me some chocolate. I've never tasted anything so sweet.
The hell? Stay away from me!
Can I have that candy? More! I want more!
Stop asking me for candy! This isn't Halloween, idiot!
Hey.
It's you.
Are you all right? You look pale.
You shouldn't sneak up on people like that. I could have hurt you.
My apologies. But you're safe now that you're at the motel. No need to be frightened. Help. B-A-A. Is that the sound of a sheep?
You noticed it too, huh? Ain't no way that's a human on the other end. It's gotta be some kind of animal.
Animal?
Based on those sounds and the tracks and the dust, I figure it's something small, like a... One sec, boss.
Picrasma candy? Using your arcane skill so frequently must be tiring. You should take a break.
The job ain't done yet. Far too early to rest. Don't worry, boss. It's just a condition that runs in my family. No biggie.
What are its side effects?
Boss, you expect a merc to reveal her weakness? We ain't that close yet. One thing I can tell you, though, is that I suffer the side effects as long as my eyes are open. Luckily, I've got cutting-edge technology at my disposal. They're safe, efficient, and most importantly, satisfy my sweet tooth.
They may be called candy, but they're actually medicine and ought to be used following medical instructions. You should know that.
Give me a break, boss. What do doctors know about my life? I use these candies whenever I need them. Ain't that the whole point?
But...
Shh. Did you hear that?
Hear what?
A heartbeat. Right outside the door. Someone's eavesdropping on us. Care to explain why you're here, Ms. Kimberly? Just how obsessed are you with Mr. Stefan, huh? Even now, after his death?
Oh, no, it's not what you think. I was just looking for my toy and it just so happens.
Toy? You know, it ain't my style to point a gun at an unarmed person. But sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Especially when they're speaking with a forked tongue. 5.
I told you, I was just looking for something.
4.
Are you joking? Why won't you believe me?
3.
I didn't.
2. 1.
Don't kill me! Don't kill me, please! I didn't do anything!
I saw the name Kimberly in Matilda's report. I thought it was just a coincidence, but now I realize it wasn't. Miss Kimberly, you're a member of Manus Vindictae, aren't you?
I swear, I didn't do anything wrong. All I did was follow my partner like the people in black told me to.
Who's your partner?
I'm hungry. All the time. So hungry. Oh, how I envy the likes of you. You can store your food in so many ways. You have enough bread and water in your barns to last an entire winter. Your pastures are full of meat and dairy products. But my food... I promise, all I'm trying to do is get back what I lost.
There's no need to be afraid. We won't hurt you, as long as you tell me the name of your partner.
If I tell you her name, will you let me go?
That depends on your sincerity.
She's called Miss Grace.
What's your purpose here?
I don't know. Those people in black told me to follow Miss Grace's orders, but she hasn't asked me to do anything since we got here. She must be hiding something from me, but I couldn't care less. I just want to eat. You annoying little brats can catch me in your dreams.
She's casting a teleport ritual. Argus, your assistant. We can't let her get away.
She disappeared fast.
At least now we can draw some conclusions. Manus Vindictae has set their eyes on this motel. Under the name of the Order of Enlightenment, they used this place as a base and conducted some failed ritual experiments before they left.
Manus Vindictae. I've heard of them. That infamous group of arcanists. If Kayla falls into their hands, things won't turn out well, will they?
I wouldn't worry too much. They usually only target pure-blooded arcanists.
Alright, that's a relief. Kayla's bloodline is 100% human.
But why would Manus Vindictae choose to come here specifically? What are they trying to do?
I was worried you wouldn't be able to make your way back, so I lit the porch light for you. Oh, but how annoying that these moths keep fluttering around.
Cut the crap, lady. Where's Vertin? Take me to her.
I rarely turn on this light. My baby never gets lost, you see. But a young, spirited child such as yourself always needs a light to lead the way. Am I right? To the weary traveler, this light is a shelter. To a child, it's a mother. And to you, what does this light mean to you? No matter who they are, people need a light to shine through the darkness, to chase away their fears. Don't you agree?
Are you a member of the Order of Enlightenment?
Order of Enlightenment? Oh, you mean those troublesome guests?
Guests?
I don't like them one bit. They've scribbled all over the place and made a mess of the rooms. They hurt my baby. Oh, my poor baby. Shh, don't be scared.
Everything's all right now.
Are they still here?
Oh, of course. They made an offer that I couldn't refuse. After all.
How much did they pay you?
Oh, you are naive, my sweet child. There are countless things in this world that money can't buy. A traveler can't buy the sudden appearance of a hotel at just the right time. A crying child can't buy the comforting embrace of their mother. And I can't buy that thrilling satisfaction brought by sweet darkness.
Enough of your endless rambling. I can't waste any more time talking to you. I can't.
Huh. Sleep tight. Just leave everything to the adults. Yes. What a good child you are.
Found his medication prescription, and... oh. Is this his notebook? Huh. Just as expected, boss. This motel ain't what it seems to be. Ain't no way that letter was written by Stefan. Take a look. The writing in this letter is delicate and slender, while the writing in this notebook is total chicken scratch. Even a blind person could tell they're written by two different people.
Stefan didn't write the letter, so it's very likely that the person who sent it wasn't Stefan either.
And this... ugh, I hate numbers. I'll leave this one to you, boss.
It appears to be Mr. Stefan's records of his daily expenses, along with some notes. Cigarettes, alcohol, and a significant amount of psychiatric medication. It says he was tormented by his hallucinations day after day, so he had to increase his dosage. And it says he saw a room numbered 707 here.
The motel only has 2 floors. There can't be a room starting with 7. Did he describe it at all?
He said the room had a bright red door that seemed completely out of place.
Maybe it was just one of his hallucinations.
No, it's not that. He also saw all kinds of things. A pair of twins in the hallway, long hair hanging from the ceiling, and... he saw Barbara, but assumed she was another hallucination. This proves that Barbara's been to the motel. Which means...
Well, I'm sorry to say that I've never met an arcanist with the head of a sheep. I can help you ask around if you...
Why did she lie to me?
So, did you find anything useful from the expense record?
I need to talk to the maid.
Hold your horses. We haven't searched the washroom yet. You should never skip the bathroom. Ain't you seen The Godfather? Michael Corleone grabs his gun from behind a toilet tank.
Argus, Argus, you've come to me.
Do you know her?
Argus, Argus, Argus.
It's not possible.
Is that Kayla?
No, there's no way that's her. If you knew Kayla like I do, you'd say the same. This distorted reflection in the mirror is probably a result of the excessive arcanum in this motel. A ritual similar to Bloody Mary used to be quite popular among the kids in this town. If you look into a mirror at exactly midnight, the spirit within will morph into the shape of the person you desire most. But if you respond to the spirit's call, it will drain your soul from your body.
I always thought those were just myths.
So did I. But after all the strange things I've seen, I've become less surprised. These spirits feed on the energy of our souls. That's why you should never trust a word they say. The people who are tricked by them fall into a kind of trance, and some, like Mr. Stefan, go crazy. I wonder what he saw in the mirror. Anyway, I won't repeat his mistake. For mercs like me, the deepest despair ain't external danger, it's internal hesitation. If some pale imitation makes me hesitate so easily, then how can I claim to be able to protect others? You've got to be able to stand your ground. A cunning criminal would use every excuse to defend themselves in court, and a scheming spy would wear all kinds of disguises to gather information on the enemy. That's why we've got to stay sharp. When it comes down to it, we only have our own two legs to stand on. Mercs ain't philosophers. Once a merc starts pondering morals, justice, and ethics, they're digging their own grave. For a merc, the mission objective is the only thing that matters. Overthinking don't bring nothing but disaster and destruction. That's why it won't fool me. The folks on the ranch adored little Kayla. She was the apple of all their eyes. How dare this ugly imitation? So... here's my response.
Argus, Argus, you've come to me.
Let this serve as a reminder to remain vigilant. If there were a deceitful Spirit of the Year award, I'm sure that would win.
Stefan Garcia, a Xeno captain, 36 years old. For unknown reasons, likely connected to Manus Vindictae, he moved into this motel. He attempted to make contact with Xeno several times, all of which failed. During his stay, he was tortured by increasingly intense hallucinations, delusion, and fear. And as a result,
he committed suicide. And that's everything the evidence shows.
no. We must have overlooked something. A military officer killing himself. A phone call asking for help in Morse code. Not to mention Manus Vindictae.
Where's this going, boss?
We've encountered a series of bizarre events, one after another, ever since we arrived at this motel. The rituals in the rooms, the officer that went mad, the spirit in the mirror, and Manus Vindictae. Only one person remains uninvolved.
Are you trying to say that she's the mastermind behind all this?
She should know more about all this than anyone. Yet she feigns ignorance at every turn, which is suspicious in its own right.
But what's there for a motel housekeeper to gain from all this? It's not like these spooky scandals would attract more guests. Unless someone else is pulling the strings. But that don't make much sense either, does it? When all these unusual things happened, she was happy to stand by and watch. But by whose orders? Some larger, more mysterious organization? Give me a break.
What if she doesn't desire money or power?
So what you're saying is that you need to ask Little Miss Maid a couple more questions.
Precisely.
That spirit morphed into Kayla, so it must have seen her face at some point. Which means that at one time, Kayla was in this room. And you're right. Tuesday's definitely not a run-of-the-mill motel maid. It wouldn't be wise to approach her rashly. Let me finish up here first. Then we can go question her together.
All right.
Nope. I got nothing. Let's go find that maid. I have a few questions for her myself. Where'd the body go? Ain't no signs of dragon neither. Who and how? The phone again. What do you think? Should we answer it? I bet it's another one of those prank calls.
Those weren't prank calls. Someone was sending a distress signal in Morse code.
Could you tell me what year it is now?
Who's this?
This is Barbara. Wonderful. I can talk over the phone now. The wind must still be wandering nearby.
That's good to hear. Are you an editor for Atu?
Yes, miss, I am. But before we continue our conversation, could you please tell me what year it is now?
1990.
I see.
Miss Barbara, can I meet you in person?
You want to meet me?
Yes. I'm Vertin, the timekeeper of the St. Pavlov Foundation. I was sent to ask you about Erd's whereabouts. But you don't seem to be in a favorable situation right now.
Miss Burton, I couldn't possibly locate Erd's whereabouts. The whispers of the wind can't reach this room.
The whispers of the wind?
Yes, it's a special form of communication.
Right. Well, is there anything I can do to help you rebuild this line of communication?
Let me first explain the situation to you. Here are a few things I'm certain of. First, this isn't an ordinary motel. It possesses some kind of supernatural life force. Before checking in, I interviewed some of the residents nearby. They all mentioned eerie rumors centered around the motel these past few months.
Yes, we've encountered some bizarre events here, like real-life urban legends.
Second, I'm now trapped in a red room. This room is in the same motel as yours. What's different is that it blocks all forms of communication. I couldn't get the room to open, and my voice didn't reach through the phone. That wasn't until a gunshot broke this intangible restraint. This small room contracted violently, and now I can communicate with the outside world. At first, I thought it was an earthquake, but the contracted space soon returned to normal. Earthquakes can't do that, can they?
Before this happened, were you using spiders to communicate with the world outside?
Yes, I was. As luck would have it, there are many spiders here. Thanks to the prevalence of spiders in urban legends, I assume. There's some paranoia about spiders living in hair. it originated in a sermon from 13th century England. A woman was always late to Mass because she spent too much time styling her hair. Eventually, a devil attached itself to her hair in the form of a spider. Yes, they delivered messages for me in their own peculiar way. Being completely isolated from the outside world greatly unsettled me. It reminded me of that terrible phenomenon. Fortunately, that wasn't the case.
But you're still trapped in that room, right?
Yes, the door's gone. I can't get out from the inside.
How did you get in there in the first place? Or rather, who brought you into that room?
Well, who else could it be? The maid named Tuesday.
Just as I expected.
Wait.
You're the driver who left me on the road, right? I remember your voice.
Yeah, it's me. I actually changed my mind and turned back to get you, but you were gone by the time I arrived. I guess that's when you came to this motel, right?
Yes, Tuesday saw me and invited me here.
Oh.
Did you want to ask me something?
Have you seen a girl of about 5'3" here? In a white dress, curly chestnut-colored hair, green eyes, small hands.
I may have seen her. When I first arrived, I saw a girl who matched your description coming down the hallway. She was carrying an empty basket. I presumed that she'd been shopping in the town nearby. If I recall correctly, she didn't check out.
Thank you.
How can we find this room?
It's just in the hallway, number 707. Look for a door covered in red.
Looks like the phone got disconnected.
So Barbara's in that room that Stefan saw, number 707. I'm going to find it. What about you? Heading into town for Kayla?
I did notice a weird spot in the hallway earlier. The maid's footprints were going back and forth like there was an entrance there. But I didn't see no signs of a door.
I wouldn't be surprised if you died by your own gun one day.
That'd be a memorable way to go. All right, enough kidding around. Our little Miss Maid tried so very hard to hide Barbara from us, but I guess the lamb's out of the bag now.
Yes, it's all crystal clear now. Let's go.
Hold up a sec, boss. Do you have any candies? I'm running on fumes here, and I ain't got no way to replenish my stash.
Us and Barbara will be out of here soon. And you'll find some candy and Kyla in town.
Are you not satisfied with my services?
No matter what, you shouldn't have cut the phone off. Nor should you have isolated me from the outside world. Because you should know better than anyone what that means.
Why should I? All I know is that a poor, helpless child like you shouldn't be alone on the roadside. Where's your mother? Didn't she tell you to be careful?
You really don't remember anything, do you?
What do you mean? What do you think I should remember?
Well, clearly it doesn't matter now. This motel's well decorated. Did you do all this yourself?
Are all children like this? Always talking in circles to draw Mama's attention. Oh, but these innocent words make them all the more adorable.
I am not a child.
That's exactly what a child would say. I've always felt a familiarity with you, like I've known you for a long time. Can you tell me about it? Why were you out here on Route 77 all alone? Maybe I can help you.
Have you heard of Atu?
Oh, I have. It's a magazine about fashion, trends, and the avant-garde. My brother loved that magazine, but my father found it unacceptable. To think his eldest son would read those softies magazines instead of working on the farm. Fashion, trends, disco. These aren't things a Texan man should pursue, at least according to my father. In the end, my father destroyed all my brother's disco records, along with his plane ticket to Los Angeles.
Perhaps that's for the best. He avoided the riots.
Huh?
Nothing. So, what do you think?
Me? Why should I have any opinion?
Let me rephrase that. What impact has this had on you?
Oh. But what happened between them has nothing to do with me, does it? These were the choices they made.
When I first arrived, a local resident told me not to stay at Tuesday's motel. He said his aunt went mad soon after she stayed here.
I remember that lady. Her head was so large. It reminded me of those stories of people with deformities. So I had her watch a freak show at midnight. Sadly, she didn't seem to enjoy it. At this time of year, the farmers run their combine harvesters on the fields non-stop. The harvest is a joyful time of year, but the accompanying noise always frightens the children. Have you heard the stories? Of how naughty children get too close to harvesters and get caught in them, losing a hand or even a head. Fields, machinery, children with severed limbs. These stories are exactly what my motel's missing. Oh, my baby's calling. Please excuse me. I don't want another temper tantrum on my hands. Apologies, my fluffy little child. I look forward to our next conversation. Talking to you always brings me inspiration. But the motel's been too busy lately. It's starting to get on my nerves. Oh, see, this is what I mean. How could I bear to send you out on your own? You'll stay right here in this cozy little room until you're fully recovered.
I don't need this special treatment of yours. Staying here won't cure my illness.
Just get some sleep. You'll come to your senses after a good rest. I'll see you soon. How many times have I told you not to eat things off the floor? There. Don't cry, sweetheart.
Is this the spot?
Sure is shooting. Look, these footprints. They're less than 10 minutes old.
But where's the door to room 707? I can sense some energy fluctuations nearby, but they're definitely not from arcane skills. What else could produce such intense energy?
Oh, can I help you with something?
Miss Tuesday, I've got a question for you. Do you know how to get to room 707?
707?
Yup. What I've been looking for might just be in that room.
I'm usually more than happy to satisfy the requests of my guests, as long as it's within my power. But this one crosses the line.
Shame. Looks like negotiations are over. And thence we came forth to see again the stars.
Using arcane skill so frequently is bad for your eyes. Didn't your family ever tell you that?
So you knew what we were doing all along.
Of course. You weren't exactly subtle in your actions. What did you expect? But you've reached your limit now. 3.
What's that supposed to mean?
2.
Screw this. Your mind games won't work on me.
1.
Huh? Who turned the lights off?
The lights are still on, dear.
You rely far too much on Picrasma candy. It can't solve all your problems.
They usually work wonders for me. Just one candy restores 50% of my vision. But in my line of work, 50% is never enough. That's why I take 2. I need my vision to be at least 100%. That'll do the job most of the time, but sometimes I've got an extremely challenging task. That's when I eat a 3rd candy. At that point, it's getting extremely dangerous. I should be able to see now. Should I take more?
Absolutely not. The large amount of candy you've eaten is exactly why your eyes have failed you, and in such a crucial moment, no less. Excess leads to destruction. This is true for all things. You do well to learn your limits.
What?
I also had to be careful not to frighten those children too much. You've always put your faith in these candies, haven't you? 1 candy, 50% recovery. 2 candies, 100%. 3 candies, and you can tackle even the most insurmountable problem. Oh, how dependable they are. Just like the venerable Argus, who succeeds in any job she takes on. It's precisely your excessive confidence in these candies that has led to your marvelous destruction. Just as the people's trust in you as a mercenary has led you to this bottomless abyss. Oh, you poor thing. And of course, they'd never have imagined this. Argus, the mercenary named after the 100-eyed, all-seeing giant, is in fact a blind fool.
Who the hell are you? Damn it! Damn it!
Missed me. There you go. Now there's no way you can miss. But do you have the guts to pull the trigger? The decision's yours to make. But once I'm dead, you'll never find room 707. Barbara, Kayla, everything you're looking for is all in that room, isn't it?
Don't you dare say her name with that filthy mouth!
But why? Miss Kayla's such a lovely guest. I very much enjoyed her company.
Enough. You and I need to have a serious talk.
Oh, there's no need for that. Actually, my baby's eager to meet you.
Your baby?
Yes. In fact, the baby is the master of this motel. I think the two of you ought to meet each other first. Here, hold it.
This is...
Burden! Burden! Let go of it, Burden! I ain't letting our deal end this way. Not while I draw breath.
Argus!
Ah!
Don't you interrupt them. There's no need to worry, Miss Burton. I've done this countless times. Now, allow me to peer into your dreams.
Where am I? Is that rain? I can catch anything with a toss.
Burton, that's why you gathered us here, right?
You shouldn't be here.
You understand what we desire most, right, Burton?
Burton, we made it, right?
But why is it still raining?
Don't be such a baby, Isabella. Haven't you seen rain before? No!
Are you afraid of children? Or rain?
No, I'm not afraid of them. Rain is common. It's always falling somewhere in the world. It's merely an ordinary weather phenomenon.
This is the kind of rain you're afraid of, isn't it? I've never seen rain fall upwards. Is this some creation of your imagination? Still, I don't see why you'd be afraid of rain falling in reverse. Would you care to enlighten me, dear child?
Miss Tuesday, please. Stop trying to get in my head and tell me where Argus is.
Before I met you, I never thought that a person without fear could exist in the world. I've never once guessed someone's fear incorrectly either. You really are something else.
You didn't guess incorrectly. These reversed braindrops have brought utter chaos to the world, pulverizing people under the crushing wheel of time. You should be thankful you've never seen it. But it can't stop us anymore. Because the Umbrella's here. At least now, when the storm comes, I can hold up the Umbrella and protect my companions. And although this ability has come too late for some, we still have a future to protect. Why are you so obsessed with people's fears? Your hands have been trembling with excitement this whole time.
So I wasn't wrong at all. Why waste your time with that mercenary? She may look tough, but she's hollow inside. Have you ever eaten a macadamia nut? Crack the hard shell, and you'll find the delicious center. Who could resist the soft texture and rich flavor of fear?
Miss Tuesday, this has to end. You were the one pulling the strings here, aren't you?
Oh, what an astounding accusation. But oh, do I feel so gratified. I've never felt so satiated in my entire life. Oh, you're the only one who's ever seen through me. How exhilarating. However, your accusation missed the mark. You see, my hands, they're immaculate. Never once tainted by a single drop of blood. I take great pride in it. You see, I barely do anything to make people's fears arise. I would never injure anyone. Fear created through physical harm is its crudest and most base form. What I crave is the fear that lingers in their hearts forever. The kind of fear that, even years later, when they recount their experiences here to their friends and families, a seed of fear is planted in the listeners' hearts. I instill fear in my guests, and they become my beloved children.
Where is she? Where's Argus?
Well, I suppose she's experiencing her own fears right now. Under that hard mercenary exterior, she's tormented by them. Can you imagine that?
Sorry, Miss Tuesday. But I'm not interested in this vile obsession of yours.
This is...
Howdy, Argus. Long time no see. We thought you'd never come back.
Mr. Dennis? Why are you here?
Oh boy, you listening to yourself? Why wouldn't I be here? It's my daughter's wedding day.
Huh? Oh, well, congratulations. But you really shouldn't be here. Don't you remember? 3 years ago, your daughter ran away from home. She left a letter and then went with Mr. Schaefer to a city in the Northeast. Detroit, I think? I don't quite remember.
Oh, come on. Quit fooling around.
After 3 months of searching, I found her. But she refused to come back with me. So you went to Detroit yourself. And then you... In any case, I'm sorry I couldn't bring her back.
What are you talking about, Argus? You must be tired from working on all those requests that the townsfolk had pushed upon you. I've told them so many times to go easy on you. That said, I have a request for you myself.
What is it? Did you lose some livestock, or...?
Come to Alice's wedding. We've prepared plenty of food and beer, and we've got the chapel choir together. Don't miss out, Missy.
Sorry. I won't be there.
Why?
I need to deliver a letter to Mrs. Mary's husband. She can't go herself because of her bad legs, you see.
Hey, Argus, I didn't ask you to deliver any letters.
Mrs. Mary, didn't you... You're still alive?
What kind of nonsense are you spouting? You really ought to take a proper rest. Today is Alice's big day. We should all be at her wedding, don't you think? Oh, my sweet child, why are your hands shaking?
Are you afraid?
Why? Are you afraid of their happiness? Or are you afraid of your failure?
I'm not a failure.
Oh, my sweet child.
Argus, Argus, got a message to send? Go get Argus, your trusted friend.
Argus, Argus, got a cheap person cat. Go get Argus, she's got your back.
Argus.
Who's there?
It's me, Kayla. You haven't forgotten me, have you?
Kayla.
It's getting dark. We should take them back. Ain't no way they'll make it through the night out here with their mama hurt. And you can't see a thing at night.
Yeah, we need to go back now. Can't delay any longer. What?
Hold on a moment.
What are you doing?
There.
Isn't it better to die a quick death than end up in the belly of a wolf?
You've got no right to make that decision. No living thing is born to simply die. It could have stood up. It could have survived.
We can go now.
No, don't go.
Oh, you've reminded me. There are 2 problems left unsolved. Those 2. Over there. Kill them. It would only take 2 bullets. 3 seconds max. As long as they're alive, they'll come after you just as hard as you hunt the targets of your missions. I'm sure you know that better than I do.
Why should I kill them?
Do you need a reason? Just do as we've always done. I say, and you too. No need to think about it. Isn't that what you pride yourself on? A mindless tool that blindly follows orders. That's all a mercenary needs to be. Isn't that the so-called value of a mercenary that you always talk about?
No, it ain't true.
What's with the hesitation anyway? It's not like you give a damn about other people's lives. The only reason you can't bring yourself to kill them is because you enjoy how they always praise you and depend on you.
You ain't Kayla.
Seriously? Are you saying I'm a fraud just because I don't meet your expectations of what I'm supposed to be? Fine. If you think I'm not Kayla, then why don't you kill me now? Just shoot me in the chest, and these people will treat you like a hero. They'll gather in the fields, holding torches, and chant your name. Argus, Argus, she's spanless. Argus, Argus, she's...
Argus. Argus.
The deepest despairing external danger. If there were a deceitful spirit eternal habitation, we only have our own 2 legs to stand on.
Oh, Argus! Our great hero!
The tale tales of your heroic deeds will be passed down through generations.
She ain't Kayla.
Now, you're lying to yourself again. Of course she's Kayla.
It's not possible.
Do I need to show you the bullet through her heart for you to believe it, Bonehead?
Damn it!
Don't pull the trigger.
Virgin?
Calm down, Argus. Remember, what you see isn't real. You're still inside the motel. At least for now.
Oh, here comes another little lady.
Excellent timing. Come join the party.
Burden.
I'm here to get you out.
So that wasn't Kayla. Couldn't ask for better news than that, really.
No, it wasn't. Let's get out of here.
Okay. She ain't Kayla.
Did you see it?
It?
My baby, of course. Oh, so it didn't show up then? What a shy little pumpkin.
What is it exactly?
A supernatural being. An amalgam of urban legends. An ever-pounding heart. And a shy little baby. All under one roof. But seeing how you got out of there in one piece, I'm certain you've already earned its approval. Come on in. I'll show you the sweetest little room in the motel. Don't be afraid, sweetheart. Go ahead. Open the door. Open it. Now.
That'll do it.
Why didn't I think of that? Your eyes haven't recovered yet, have they? Such poor aim. Let me lend you a hand. Listen to Mama. I told you long ago about the consequences of disobedience. Oh, it's out of bullets. Could you help me reload? Oh, my sweet child. Can you see it? This is the beauty of fear.
Watch out!
Please, come in, my dear guests. You'll find what you seek inside. When I found it, it was still called Sweet Home. It was all alone, abandoned in the wilderness. A poor little thing.
So you took it in? Some unknown, growing arcane consciousness that takes the form of a motel, yet somehow also exists as a baby?
Yes. There.
But it seriously impacted the lives of the locals.
Oh, Miss Verton. They chose to come here of their own volition. I never forced them to stay.
But after leaving, some of them went mad or even committed suicide.
Well, they made those decisions themselves. Now is not the time to dwell on such trivial matters, Miss Verton. Haven't you been searching for Miss Barbara?
Don't get any bright ideas made. If Verdon gets so much as a scratch, I'll blast your chest open. Along with your baby. Go inside, boss. I'll keep an eye on her.
Here you are, Miss Verton. I'm so glad. I was beginning to think I'd never regain contact with the outside world.
Miss Argus, you can put your gun down now. I've shown my utmost sincerity, have I not?
Shut your trap.
Let's get out of here, Miss Barbara. I don't think it's the wisest choice to have this conversation while we're still inside a living thing. Argus, I need you to keep Tuesday in check until we make it out of here.
You ain't gotta tell me twice.
I've gazed at this scenery countless times, but never have I felt as enthralled as today. But, Miss Verton, don't you think you've forgotten something?
Forgotten what?
That guest who came with you. Shortly after her arrival, she hurried off to that armament factory. She's such an impatient child. Luckily, she made her way back here. Her name's Lilia, right?
What did you do to her?
Relax, she's fine. She's sleeping soundly as we speak, with or without nightmares. Follow me. I'm sure she's eager to see you. This is the room.
Open it.
Oh.
Verton, there you are. Listen, those Manu scum have already wormed their way into the town. We can't go there.
You look terrible.
I couldn't sleep at all in that haunted room. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw all kinds of creepy stuff. Can you come down here, Capitan? Talking like this hurts my neck.
Okay.
What's going on? Are you okay, Capitan?
I'm fine. I have good news and bad news.
Don't bother with the order. Just lay it on me.
The good news is, we found Barbara. The bad news is we've got a new problem. This motel is the manifestation of a living consciousness that constantly generates urban legends and spreads fear. It might turn into a supernatural arcanist in the future. We can't let it grow here unchecked. We need the help of the Foundation to keep it under control.
Boss, my job here is done. I'm heading into town for Kayla. Oh, and I promised a young fella that I'd help him find his mother. I've got to go now.
How do I pay your fee?
Fee? We're friends, Verdon. I don't need no payment.
All right, Capitan. Any progress on finding Erd?
That's why you came looking for me, right? I'll ask the wind for you. It's the least I can do.
Did she doze off?
I'm listening. Oh, I heard it. The answer. A distant wind told me that Miss Erd's latest submission came from the Sao Paulo Veterans Residence. The article she submitted was an excellent piece, but Atu doesn't know anything beyond that.
Okay.
I suppose we'll all have restful sleep and sweet dreams tonight. I've collected the material I needed for the upcoming feature interview. I bet the readers will enjoy it. I'll be sure to include your name on the byline, Miss Tuesday.
Me? I don't think I contributed anything.
Quite the contrary. You played a significant role. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have realized my inner fear of losing communication with the world. First-hand experiences like this are invaluable to an editor.
Oh, with the way you put it, I almost regret letting you go.
I won't be returning. The interview's over. If all goes well, you'll be able to read about it in the next issue of Atu. I'll take my leave now.
Goodbye.
Good. I can't wait to leave this place.
We can't leave yet. I just contacted the Texas branch. Their staff is on their way here. They have to investigate this supernatural being as soon as possible.
And they'll be here soon, I presume.
I can feel their energy fluctuations of teleportation rituals. It must be them.
Hmm?
Looks like you guessed wrong, Capitan. I met her in town. Name's Kayla.
Kayla? Do you know someone called Argus?
The name doesn't ring a bell. How strange. What kind of parent would name their child after a 100-eyed giant? You must have mistaken me for someone else. Kayla's a common name after all. Like Emma, Anna, or Catherine. More importantly, miss, you look... Although I've never met you before, you seem familiar. I hope you have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Are you a guest at this motel?
What happened here?
The St. Pavlov Foundation has taken over. I suggest you find alternative accommodation, given the dangerous incidents that have occurred here.
What should I do? All my things are still inside.
The Foundation staff will take care of it for you later. You can trust them.
Can't I just go and get my things now?
I would advise you to wait until the Foundation staff arrive.
Oh, I can look after myself. No need to worry about me, miss.
That girl.
What about her?
Never mind. It's probably nothing.
Apologies for our delayed arrival, Miss Verton. We'd been unable to locate the motel until about 10 minutes ago. It's as if something was deliberately interfering with our sense of direction.
Oh. Once again, it insisted on eating garbage off the floor. Is every child this stubborn?
It's Stefan, a Xeno officer.
Stefan. Sounds familiar. The records show he was a high-ranking Xeno officer who went missing after the vacuum bomb footage leaked. Xeno issued a staggering bounty on him. I guess whatever he did really angered Admiral Igor. Who would have thought he'd be hiding in this little motel in the middle of nowhere?
Obviously, luck wasn't on his side.
All right, Miss Verton. We'll take over from here.
After the branch completes its procedures, you'll be sent to the headquarters for a more thorough assessment.
Will you return my baby to me?
It's too early to discuss that. Let's go, Lilia. We must report back to Madame Z about Erd.
Oh dear. It seems a lot transpired while I was away.
Miss Grace! I thought you'd forgotten me! I've been exposed!
Kimberly, care to tell me what happened in this motel? There's blood and brains splattered in the hallway. Who died and how?
It was that Xeno madman! He shot himself in the head! But I still haven't managed to destroy the ritual sigils under his bed. And I couldn't find the...
Now that our base of operations has been exposed, we'll have to take away everything related to the ritual and leave. The Foundation's rats will thoroughly search this place soon.
The last thing I need right now is to deal with them. And, could you tell me more about this Burton? I might have had a slip of the tongue when she confronted me earlier. How good is her memory?
Fret not, Kimberly. People rarely pay attention to things that don't directly involve them. But I do look forward to seeing her again.
We're just here to have a conversation, Ms. Tuesday. Relax.
I found it in the wilderness.
You mean the motel with arcane powers? Just to confirm, the base form of this arcane consciousness is a heart-shaped fetus, correct?
Yes.
It's about as intelligent as a one-year-old human, and it lacks the ability to deliberately plan or cause the incidents in the motel. Meanwhile, it sees you as its mother, displaying remarkable trust and dependence on you. Therefore, we believe you were a major contributor to these incidents, or rather, the one who pulled the strings. You may not have acted with evil intent, but your actions have caused many residents in Chisos to suffer mental breakdowns. They were seeking some form of relief from their mental anguish, which provided the perfect opportunity for the Manus to entrench themselves so deeply in this town. Isn't that so, Miss Tuesday?
Well, I've never been to that town. And even if it is, as you say, they made their choices, didn't they?
I see. The Timekeeper just reported another crucial piece of information to the Foundation. Were there any activities going on in the motel undertaken by the self-proclaimed followers of the Order of Enlightenment?
Oh, there indeed were. They left not long ago. I still remember their faces.
What did they do at the motel?
They scribbled on the floor and made strange noises. Oh, I remember now. Whatever it was they were trying to do, it was a total failure. One poor girl became trapped inside their mirror. She never stopped trying to escape. The mirror would make banging noises all night long.
We didn't find anyone trapped in a mirror during our search.
Well, That's sad, I suppose.
If you knew they were from a dangerous arcanist organization, why didn't you report them to the Foundation?
Why would I? Fear doesn't frighten me. No, quite the contrary. It excites me. I would embrace fear any day of the week.